Let me guess. You're tired for no reason, irritable for even less, and your knees sound like a microwave full of angry popcorn. But your doctor glanced at your labs and gave you the medical equivalent of a thumbs up emoji. So, must be all in your head, right? Yeah, no, not even close. What if I told you your body's been quietly screaming, "Give me vitamin D," before I stage a riot, and you've been too busy scrolling TikTok health hacks to notice? See, this isn't just about brittle bones and cloudy skies. Vitamin D, or if you want to impress your endocrinologist, 25-hydroxy vitamin D, is the biochemical puppeteer controlling 2,000 plus genes: mood, pain, sleep, appetite, hormones, energy, inflammation. Basically, if your life feels like a slow-motion breakdown, this guy might be the invisible hand pulling the rug. So no, you're not broken, but your cells, they've been whispering like underpaid interns, and the first symptom they chose to scream? Let's just say it starts under your pillow, with a sweat ring and a silent cry for help. And here's the real plot twist. The weirdest symptoms of low vitamin D? They show up before your blood test even thinks about looking suspicious. Stick around till the end, and I'll show you the most misunderstood number on your lab report and why your doctor might be reading it like it's a fortune cookie. You see, your pillow isn't just damp, it's trying to send a message. If you wake up with a head that's been sweating like it just ran a marathon without your permission, that's not just weird, it's biochemical Morse code. Let's break it down. Most people sweat from the usual spots: armpits, palms, the occasional nervous upper lip. But excessive head sweating, especially in infants, teens, or hey, full-grown tax-paying adults, can be a bright red flag for vitamin D deficiency. Why? Because vitamin D helps regulate your autonomic nervous system. That behind-the-scenes body crew that controls heart rate, temperature, and yes, how sweaty your scalp gets at 3 a.m. But wait, we're not done dripping. Let's talk night sweats. Those delightful moments when your body decides to soak your sheets while the room temp is cool and your dreams are unproblematic. Here's what's likely happening. Your immune system's been overreacting like a caffeinated toddler, and your hypothalamus, the brain's internal thermostat, starts firing off heat like you're fighting an infection. And guess what helps keep that immune temper tantrum in check? You guessed it, vitamin D. So if you're waking up soggy and irritated, it's not your mattress. It's a biological meltdown with no SPF. And if your body's been overheating without warning, just wait till your mood starts running the show. Ever felt like your emotions are trapped in a blender set to randomize? You go from chill to rage to existential dread in the time it takes your Wi-Fi to buffer. Yeah, that's not just personality. That's biochemistry in meltdown mode. Let's start with mood swings. Vitamin D helps regulate your HPA axis. That's the hormone command center between your brain and adrenal glands. When vitamin D is low, cortisol, your stress hormone, goes full Godzilla. Your body gets stuck in fight or flight, but instead of fighting, you're snapping at baristas and crying during cat food commercials. Now crank that up to 11, and welcome to the wonderful world of panic attacks. Your amygdala, the fear control center in your brain, starts spazzing out, misfiring, like a paranoid raccoon. And without enough vitamin D to calm the chaos, your system reacts to emails like they're life-threatening tigers. Still think this is just in your head? Because it's also hijacking your drive. Vitamin D supports dopamine production in the nucleus accumbens, the brain's motivation circuit. So if you're putting off everything, can't finish tasks, or feel like you've rage quit your own goals, that's not laziness. That's neurochemical sabotage. And just when your brain's crashing, your body joins the rebellion. Next, the aches, the weakness, the stiffness. Your bones are about to start yelling too. So your mood's fried, your motivation's MIA, and now your body decides it's had enough too. Cool, love that for you. Let's talk pain. Not the dramatic, sharp kind. I mean that weird, deep ache in your pelvis lower back, hips, and thighs, like your bones are made of stale bread. That's not your age. That's likely osteomalacia, a fancy word for your bones are going soft on the inside. Vitamin D deficiency is the #1 cause of it. Why? Because D controls how your body absorbs calcium. No D equals barely any calcium gets through the gut. No calcium equals your bones become gummy bears with trust issues. And you'll feel that, especially in your legs, hips, and lower spine. But wait, we're not done making you uncomfortable. Let's add muscle weakness to the mix. Vitamin D helps your muscles contract, rebuild, and basically do their job, without making you feel like a newborn giraffe. Without it, you'll start to lose strength, especially in the legs and shoulders. And every staircase feels like a CrossFit competition. Your ribcage creak when you yawn too hard. And as your body turns into a confused, inflamed pretzel, guess what tanks next? Your energy. Because when your mitochondria are starved of D, you don't crash, you just stay permanently offline. Now that your bones are aching and your joints sound like a haunted rocking chair, let's talk about the part of you that's been quietly malfunctioning this whole time, your energy. You're not just tired, you're vitamin D depleted tired. A special kind of soul-sucking fatigue where 10 hours of sleep feels like a polite suggestion, not a solution. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Your body's energy factories, called mitochondria, rely on vitamin D to stay functional. Without it, they stop producing energy efficiently. It's like trying to run your life off a phone stuck at 1%, forever. But there's more. Low vitamin D can also reactivate latent viruses, especially Epstein-Barr, the one linked to chronic fatigue syndrome. It doesn't have to give you a full-blown infection, just enough symptoms to make you feel like a wet bag of laundry all day. Now pair that fatigue with mental sluggishness, the kind where your brain feels like someone's pouring molasses through your Wi-Fi. Decisions feel heavy. Focus, gone. Conversations, delayed like a bad live stream. This isn't burnout. This is your nervous system saying, "Cool story, bro. We're done until vitamin D shows up." And if that wasn't enough, even when you eat, your body still feels unsatisfied. Because guess what? Your hunger cues might be just as broken, and vitamin D's got its hands in that mess too. So your body's tired, your brain's buffering, and now you're still hungry after eating? Cool, that's not infuriating at all. If you've ever crushed a full meal, decent food, not just empty calories, and still felt unsatisfied like you missed a final bite that never existed, you're not crazy. You're probably vitamin D deficient. Let's talk leptin, the hormone that tells your brain, hey, we're full. You can stop now. Vitamin D helps leptin do its job. Without it, your brain doesn't get the memo. So your stomach's done, but your brain's still standing at the buffet like it just got ghosted by lunch. Now add insulin to the disaster. When vitamin D is low, insulin becomes less effective, meaning nutrients aren't efficiently entering your cells. So, even if you're eating clean, your cells are basically looking up at you like, we appreciate the gesture, but we're still starving in here. The result? More cravings, more snacking, and more internal confusion about why you're eating, but never satisfied. And no, this isn't a willpower issue. It's biochemical sabotage with a side of guilt. And here's the plot twist that ties it all together. Even if you saw a doctor, even if you got tested, there's a high chance your vitamin D levels were normal on paper and still nowhere near optimal. So we're about to decode that lab number they love to misread and show you the range that actually matters. Let's settle this for real. In case your attention span got hijacked by a TikTok dance challenge halfway through, plus 2 other tabs playing sounds, let's rewind this sweaty, cranky, snack-hunting, bone-creaking saga one more time. You sweat in weird places like your scalp and your pillow. Your mood swings harder than a caffeinated squirrel on a trampoline. Your bones ache, your muscles gave up, and your joints sound like bubble wrap. You're tired but wired, foggy but anxious. And somehow, A full plate of food still leaves you side-eyeing the pantry. Yeah, that's not a bad week. That's a vitamin D deficiency in disguise. But here's the twist I promised you back in the intro. You may have already had the test, the 25-hydroxyvitamin D, or 25-OHD for short. Your doctor saw your level was 30 and said you're fine. But fine just means not hospitalized. It doesn't mean you're functioning. Because most experts who actually read the research say the optimal range isn't 20 or 30, it's 50 to 80 nanograms per milliliter. That's where your immune system, hormones, and brain stop panicking and start performing. And if that whole, my labs are fine, but I feel like trash thing sounds familiar, you might want to circle back to our episode on why most doctors are still 10 years behind on the Coimbra protocol. Spoiler, this kind of misunderstanding isn't a fluke, it's the system. Now, I'm not your doctor, no medical advice here, but if 3 or more of those 11 signs slapped you across your nervous system, it might be time to look past the lab range and ask better questions. Drop a sun in the comments if your body just got exposed. Smash like your mitochondria owe you rent, and hit subscribe, because next, we're diving into how to raise your D levels the right way, with the right cofactors, the real strategy, and none of the wellness noise. This isn't just about one nutrient. This is the part where you realize the deficiency was just the symptom, and what comes next might change how you heal for good.